Let's see how we can design a user login and authentication system for our website. So first, what are the requirements? We need to be able to register, we need to be able to log in, we need to manage the session, we need to handle password recovery, we need to have some access control, we need to have an audit trail, and we need to be performant as well. Now, what are some non-functional requirements as well? We can enable multi-factor authentication, we need security, we need scalability, reliability, and usability. Let us estimate a few key metrics. First, let us estimate the traffic. So we're going to say that we are going to have an average of 100,000 users per month. That would be about 1 request per second of authentication. Now let us define some service level objectives, SLOs. So the maximum latency that our authentication system is going to have is going to be 500 milliseconds. The storage estimation now is going to be at about 5 kilobytes per user credentials. So the high level design of the authentication system is going to be that the user accesses the system via UI, probably a web UI or mobile. Then they contact a load balancer who redirects the request to an authentication server who is itself connected to a database. So now let's go into more details about the fulfilling of those requirements. So for the registration to be fulfilled, when a new user visits the application and they enter their credential details, then they need to be able to be authenticated. We need to manage the session so that when the user is successfully authenticated, the session is properly maintained. If the user loses their password, they need to be able to recover it. And we need to provide some basic access control so that the system is able to know what user is authenticated and which is not. We also need to add an audit trail in case of a security incident or for maintenance purposes. So in conclusion, we've designed a user login and authentication system for our website. This is a thought experiment for a system design question.